knowing he might bring up transphobic shit. You aren't exactly a Vosh at trans debates. I hope that the rest of your life is as horrible as it is every single day.
Hey, the N-word. Do you think black people?
What a fucking lie!
I hope the rest of your life is as horrible as every single day. I mean, a tear almost fell out of my eye after hearing something this profound. Don't even got correlation to the points that are coming, but why are majority of the comebacks I've heard from the left just so unfunny? Who comes to mind saying something like this? Because the first person I see saying that is an angry toddler with snot bubbles boiling in his nostrils. It's like they all looked up things to tell your enemy on Pinterest and ran with the same top 5 results. Real quick, I want to shout out WillyMacShow, DarkViperAU, and Kahmal for providing me with more information than I can even think of for this yeasty beast. So their channel links along with my Instagram you should definitely follow, or you're a racist flesh-eating forklift licensed fascist, will be down in the description below. Now enjoy the video. Alright, welcome back ladies and ladies with dicks. I want to be absolutely bottom of the line clear that I am not a political person or have much interest in following up in politics as a whole, besides occasionally reading news about inflation, because I am disgusted seeing a Subway footlong being over $10. I'm pretty confident in saying that a lot of my audience isn't really either, since it's something that I never introduced onto the channel before. But that's perfectly okay, because you don't even have to know who the fucking president is to understand why Hassan Piker should be one of the last people to qualify as a political activist. In case anyone is blissfully unaware to who this guy is, I would recommend you all to stop the video, keep that smile shining, and carry on with your amazing day. Once I did find out about him, I had to hire a therapist for my therapist to stop my therapist from throwing himself off a bridge. Hassan is unarguably one of the biggest, along with influential left-leaning streamers that have surfaced in the last few years, amassing almost 3 million followers on Twitch for covering cultural issues that he's 90% of the time confidently wrong about.
What am I looking at with my own 2 eyes? What are you looking at? I have no evidence? Don't believe your fuck. What do you mean?
Reports breaking news on politics and ongoing wars. What are his sources? Random troglodytes on Twitter. Not even being able to do the bare minimum for research or his content, often stealing videos and labeling it as a reaction, rarely giving credit to the original creator. Treats himself as the forefront of journalism, despite the one time he had a terrorist on stream, he just virtually sucked his dick for 2 hours and asked him if he watched One Piece.
Does he know what One Piece is?
One Piece, like, is that an organization?
No, One Piece is an anime.
Radicalizes and gaslights his audience into believing anything he says, and if you disagree in any way, he will call you a Nazi, fascist, white supremacist, usually dragging your name on screen so his thousands of viewers can see and point and laugh at you.
IDF didn't bomb the hospital? Change title? IDF didn't bomb the hospital? Yes, it did! Yes, it did!
Yes, it did!
You fucking piece of shit! Yes, it absolutely did! You! You genocidal scumbag!
Constantly frames America for being one of the worst uncivil countries to ever live in, but most importantly, he's a multi-millionaire socialist that rarely pays his employees, even though he endlessly fights for workers' rights on his streams every single day, constantly advocating for violence and destruction towards capitalists or rich people, all while he soaks in his ass sweat for 10 hours on a stream that's broadcasted from his $3 million West Hollywood mansion, with a brand new 6-figure Porsche parked outside his driveway. Now, I really couldn't give one luck of a fuck however rich people drop their bag. It is none of my concern. In majority of the time before NFTs were a thing, those people worked very hard to get to the place that they're at today. The big issue many people have with Hassan is this man can't practice not one thing he preaches. For example, during a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence of Hassan actually being the one reacting to a video instead of his chair, he would be watching famous YouTuber Sniper Wolf's brand new mansion tour, where throughout the entire vid, he almost was just foaming out the mouth, shocked that somebody would waste so much money on something that's so excessive and unneeded.
This is like unimaginable wealth, dude. How the fuck do people make this much money?
Because as he said it best himself, he is a man that lives on a simple budget. Basic necessity, matter of fact.
Live on a basic necessity budget for the most part anyway.
Is this nigga serious?
Aw, our humble little hero. Let's go over to his Instagram, because this surely sounds like an Old Navy shopper if I ever heard one. Let's have a look at the modest clothes he wears for us. Oh, okay, an $800 Venomance crew neck. You know, really something you could scoop out of Goodwill. Very basic, never seen a guy without it. Let's see what's next from this mouth-breathing minimalist. A Gucci bag that could fit a couple microwaves in it, but certainly with Hassan, it must be used to carry simple survival tools. Here's another casual outfit Hassan decided to put on for the day. Wondering how much that is worth? Oh, around $5,000. But you would be stupid if you think Hassan would be doing this for himself. He does it for his fans. He's a community man. He didn't want that 6-figure Porsche for his own entertainment, despite being the only person that has driven it. He wanted it to be an enjoyable trophy that the community can celebrate how much brain cells they lost to following the slow-thinking twin.
This is why I do this stuff, okay? This is why I was like, I might not even buy this car in the end if it's like, you know, too much of a hassle. but like I literally do this for that.
Yeah, he spent 150 grand on a car so Austin Ox can make a 30-second video.
No, literally, yeah. So we can all have fun.
That's
like,
how good he has it, baby.
So yeah, no, I mean I'm not even kidding. Yeah, so my community can have fun.
Not even a month later, after he was bashing Sniper Wolf for not forwarding all of her income to a soup kitchen or some shit, he ended up posting a house tour of his very own, showing everybody how his house has more bedrooms than a Holiday Inn. They're all just really gifts to us for being a part of such a beautiful movement, and watching a shit show of a career unfold is at least what Hasan claims to make himself feel better about being a walking billboard sign for advertising his hypocrisy. With majority of his fans that share the same personality and intelligence as that chin bitch off a gumball, just gobbling everything he says up without even giving a second thought. It would be mostly ignored in Hasan's chat, but whenever a few brave fans that realize they can activate more of their brain than just the fucking stem started questioning him on where all his income goes that he earns from streaming and donations. You know, like, hey Hasan, half of my paycheck every week I get from the hard work of dog walking goes to you, so what are you exactly doing for all of us in our great big socialist cause that we've been following for years? Well, he pretty much tells everybody he wipes his ass with it.
Be more transparent with your income. Nobody needs that much. What are you doing with it? How do you support left-wing politics? Very practical with your money. This notion that like, what are you doing with your money is dumb as fuck. Where could I be spending my money? It's not like I take the lavish vacations for a month and then come back. I do this every single day.
Yeah, give this man his fucking flowers. He is the first human to evolve backwards, somehow getting dumber than the day he was before, and he does it every single day of his life. The grind won't stop until he gets his audience to contract Alzheimer's so they can just forget what money is itself. I won't discredit Hasan and say he hasn't done a few charity streams, of course having almost all of the income coming from his fans instead of out of his own pocket, because if he dropped a penny on that shit, he wouldn't have any more Amiri shirts to match with his Dior jeans that some 12-year-old with bones sticking out of their broken fingers made in Thailand. But keep in mind, this is the same guy that criticized Mr. Beast for uploading his video on curing 1,000 blind people, making for the first time a great point on how it is very unfair that we have to rely on Mr. Beast as a beacon of hope to really make a change in some people's lives before their own government can. But then I realized, Hasan, you're not broke. You can't do something of this level, obviously, because, well, it's Mr. Beast, but you can damn do something similar since you are so passionate about it. But no, that's way too much work. Instead, you sit here on your ass and complain all day in your 20,000 square foot private estate.
You watch this video, you go, oh, how cute and how nice. I watched the video and I'm filled with rage.
What's wrong with you?
That we shut off access to a 10-minute procedure because we paywalled it and decided that like some people just simply can't get it. It is so insanely frustrating that it like it's up to like one YouTube guy to like decide to make content out of it that like that people who are too poor can't just fucking see. That's insane.
That's right. All those aspiring nurses and doctors out there that are putting years of hard work to do life-changing procedures that want to earn something for their effort, Hasan has a message for you, and that is to go fuck yourself. And if they don't get paid, then who does besides Hasan in his socialist world? Is it his employees who slave away hours of their life watching his brain rot streams in order to edit them for YouTube? Of course not. All the staff in Hasan's perfect left-leaning world that really even made this man as famous as he is today by posting him so much don't even get a single fruit of their labor.
Are you paying, right, a percentage or something proportional to the millions that you're making off Twitch, right? Does that carry over to your Twitch? So sure, I believe you for your podcast.
To who? To what?
To like editors, to moderators?
Yes.
So you're paying moderators or head of moderation?
No, not editors and not moderators.
Only you benefiting from all the work people do while you bitch, groan, and moan all day. That doesn't really sound very community driven to me. So now that we have a basic understanding of how this guy's brain has one cell bouncing around it like a DVD screensaver, let's now go to his horrible coverage on breaking news. Obviously, since Hasan is a political streamer, he does cover very sensitive topics, often ones that have emotions filled from both sides. One of these global issues he decided to give updates on was the war that unfolded with Russia and Ukraine. During this, he would constantly make claims without any evidence, jump to conclusions, then whenever he gets caught digging in his own ass as being his official source, he will tuck his little piker pecker back into his legs, barely being able to muster up the courage to apologize before doing it all over again. First would be him promising everybody that Ukraine would never be invaded by Russia on streams and his stories on his socials, despite Russia setting up military bases near the border and having US intelligence relaying the message the entire world already knew that the war was imminent.
Talk about. I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh, shock. I think maybe I'll tell my editors to do this, but I think I'll just change I'll change this every day to Ukraine has still not been invaded by Russia every day. Change it to Russia still has yet to invade Ukraine.
Well, slap my face with the big black cock and color me shocked. A few days later, Russia decided to invade Ukraine. Does Hasan try to fix his mistakes or own up to his errors? No, it's Hasan. He can't do anything right, which is probably why he became left. He only creates more problems and just adds a nice touch of errors to go along with it. During October of last year, Iran made many headlines for firing missiles at a US base. Them being a country that has open animosity towards us for years, it wasn't the most surprising thing to see. Hasan, however, immediately went into jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams Alex Jones mode towards this topic and was pushing the narrative that it was all an inside job with 100% certainty that the CIA were the ones responsible.
On U.S. consulate in Iran happening now, false flag, 100%. MEK false flag. MEK actors, 0% chance that is so fucking sussy. Oh no. Oh, that's what's going on in Iraq, the American base that was under attack. No fucking shot. When I say MEK, I just mean CIA. I said MEK, but I mean CIA. Rumors saying the missiles were launched from Iran. I mean, dog, come on, bro. Like, come the fuck on. You think, like, think about this. The Iranian government, after like years of crippling sanctions, despite fucking following the denuclearization agreements under Donald Trump, still got more sanctions and still got fucked over time and time again, who are still trying to, according to the U.S. State Department, very close to finalizing the denuclearization deal this week, ends up bombing an American base? Like, really, dude? What the fuck are you talking about?
Whenever people would call out any sort of disagreement towards this bullshit tinfoil condom conspiracy, they would be met with Hasan lashing out onto them and signaling anybody that doesn't believe what he's talking about is automatically a racist American Nazi scum, or whatever same 5 buzzwords he uses towards anybody that doesn't immediately drop their jaws and eat Hasan's balls.
I'm wrong, okay? It's probably Iran. You're right. It's probably Iran fucking blowing shit up for no reason. You're right. Let's believe that instead. You got it. It's Iran doing it 100%. Iran's the one doing it. They're irrational. God damn it, dude. I'm so annoyed. Like, one fucking dub for the American intelligence, and they never shut the fuck up. These goddamn stupid, pathetic little sniveling cowards living in the imperial core that regularly are like, I love war! I love war! I fucking love murder! I want more war!
Why do 3 million people follow this guy again? Is common sense really just that uncommon now that this is a new wave of wisdom, being a complete saggy, nipple, mentally impaired cripple that sounds like Crazy Dave from Plants vs. Zombies whenever he babbles on about shit he doesn't know about? That's what is inspiring or moving to you, Hasan viewers out there. I genuinely want to know. Please type away your Bible testament so I can giggle at how much of a fucking gullible idiot that you are. Majority of his fans, from what I've seen, don't even care about what he even has to say. They're just fangirls that lust over him in every comment section because he's seen as attractive. Iran themselves eventually claimed responsibility for the attack, but instead of correcting himself or apologizing, Hasan's rebuttal was to pretend he didn't know how to pronounce Iran before walking away, leaving another unpaused, uncredited video to play in the background so he can go jerk off in his bathroom mirror.
It's like, I'm sorry, it's just so much easier for, you guys are right. It's so much easier for me to just always fucking blame whoever you're pronouncing Iran wrong? Wait, what? I'm not.
I can't have. Meanwhile, Disney executives say they will
I gotta
not
pee.
produce
I gotta
any.
I almost see steam coming out of his ears from his brain over frying. His body took a damn screenshot because Hasan would rather tell 5 lies before looking for the truth. He covered the Israel and Palestine crisis, something that I'm not very well versed into at all. But one highlight I want to go over is where he found his quote-unquote sources for his news updates. The biggest political streamer in the world gets his updates from random people with 50 followers on Twitter and shit stains in their undergarment. He would constantly accuse mainstream media outlets of lying about death tolls during certain conflicts, then he reroutes everybody back to the real number via a random tweet he saw with 30 likes.
200 and 300 people killed in Gaza hospital airstrike according to Hamas-run health ministry from 1 hour ago. Wait, what? No, the number is like 800 now. My friend in Gaza tells me I smell the death now after Israel violently kills more than 877 Palestinians in the Al Ahli Arab hospital in the center of Gaza City.
Despite Hasan never leaving his house or do anything that's actually beneficial for society, he believes himself to be a weapons specialist, always putting on this facade that he can calculate different missile trajectories. Motherfucker. The firepower from one missile and the damage one can cause, when in reality he knows absolutely nothing.
J-Dam, called on. Do you think that seems similar to one another? Also, not a ballistic trajectory expert, but that JDAM came from super high up. If you look at the actual confirmed video of the bombing, you know that neither of these parties have the capability of dropping a bomb like this on themselves, even by accident or deliberately. They do not have this capability. You have no evidence. Stop concluding. What is this? What am I looking at? What am I looking at with my own two eyes? What are you looking at?
The original death toll and buildings being destroyed were both proven to be debunked once official photos were released from the attack that showed it only managed to mainly strike a parking lot instead of a church, as Hasan full-heartedly believed, without doing more research. The last thing I want to cover for Hasan, at least attacking foreign affairs, is his revolutionary interview he had with the Houthi terrorists. Now keep this noted, this guy has captured commercial ships and taken innocent civilians hostage. And with himself claiming to be the leading face of journalism, you would expect Hasan to ask heavy-hitting questions that a lot of people want answered. Instead, he ended up praising this man for 2 hours after finding out that he watches anime, laughing and giggling with him, saying the work he does is comparable to Luffy from One Piece.
Does he know what One Piece is?
One Piece, like, is that an organization?
No, One Piece is an anime.
Is
it Luffy?
Yeah, he said he's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes, that's fire, dude. We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. You should tell him that.
His dumbass would later start siding with the Houthi, claiming that America is so racist for bombing Yemen, the place where they started their organization from. And whenever the topic of the hostages the terrorists took was brought up, Hasan started praising the man again, comparing clips of them taking over ships to playing a match of Rust. Then whenever Hasan ran out of the 2 questions he had prepared for the interview, he basically begged for this Houthi's approval, again desperately just trying to become friends with them.
Asses that consider him to be a terrorist. What does he think about that? That's how you do it in Turkey.
Yeah. This is crazy.
What do you mean? I'm just fucking chilling. We're just vibing, dude.
No, I know. This is the dream blunt rotation right here.
Yeah, we're just vibing. We're vibing big time.
Matter of fact, I'm very curious. What do even the Houthis stand for? I know they have their own flag, so let's have a look at what it says. Yeah, I don't think I could even read a word of that shit without Neil giving my video a golden shower. Whenever he would allow his fans to ask the Houthis some question, he would treat every question like that was the dumbest thing he ever heard. Then when he finally came up with one, it would be even more stupid than the question he just called stupid.
Ask him if he would stop going on boats if Israel stops the genocide. I mean, yeah, he's gonna say yes, chat. What are you talking about? Those are like dumbass questions. Has he ever had like Western food?
Yeah, because that's a much better question. Ask him if he likes to dip his fries in ketchup next. This is a stream he heavily advertised and promoted, acting like it was his finest piece of work he managed to produce, even going out of his way to post One Piece memes on Twitter about his interview with this terrorist. So whenever Hasan isn't on global affairs, what does he have to say about drama within our own country? Especially the issue we face about transgenders being able to express themselves. Well, apparently Hasan knows more about trans people than them fucking selves. Whenever somebody that is trans advises him to not cover trans topics he's not fully educated about, or saying he's wrong about certain things, then his response to all of that is to just be transphobic back. A perfect example is Hasan arguing over if trans people should be allowed to play a woman's sport, which by basic science and biology the answer is clearly no. You can put a pint of estrogen, a tutu, and a set of leopard print slippers on LeBron, he would still drop off the court 50-0. I know I said I wouldn't get too political, but I just don't understand how people see that as a fair playing field. Anyways, so that particular viewer kindly let out their concerns over Hasan trying to be the voice for something he's not even directly involved in. He would have some Winter Soldier meltdown moments, calling her a bigoted piece of shit, and somehow start being transphobic towards the actual trans person itself that he claimed he was fighting for, constantly repeating the term catboy towards the viewer, then proceeding to permanently ban the person before he would get a heart attack from the adrenaline.
If trans women were completely dominating certain fields of sport, the only reason why you would consider that to be completely inappropriate and unnatural is if you think trans women are unnatural.
Huh? Or maybe it's because they just aren't, not in a discriminatory way by any means. If you want to Mr. Potato Head yourself, I fully support whatever you got going on, but like, what does this even fucking mean, man? I don't really keep up with sports either, but let's use motherfucking javelin toss as an example, alright? Let's take one simple search of the world record holders for longest throws. The man threw a toss that almost reached 100 meters, the woman however managed to get 70. Good stats. I mean, if I threw a first pitch at a baseball game, my shoulder would dislocate, so impressive numbers nonetheless. But are those numbers necessarily close to each other? Neck and neck, you would say. Because to me, 90 feet or 30 meters is a lot of fucking space to work with. Let's take the male, flick off his dick, put a pair of lips biceps between his hips and throw him in the women's league. Is it fair to now have that same trans woman be able to throw 100 meters while all the women can never reach a 70? Exactly.
Transphobic, transphobia, transphobic, transphobic, transphobic.
With Hasan accusing all these people to be all these BuzzFeed buzzwords while so righteously fighting for all the minorities, you would expect him to be the last person to be racist. But it turns out that couldn't be further from the truth. WillyMac brought up a great point in this particular segment where Hasan would immediately lash out on people who joke about saying the N-word with their friends, deeming them as racist.
Nothing I do is performative. So I'm not going to, for instance, I'll use Hasan as an example. I'm not going to talk to a black person like Trihex and say, hey, the N-word, it's always black. What do you think black people?
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
Well, that's really ironic coming from the guy that will literally judge people solely based off the color of their skin.
America is what you get when you leave a bunch of Anglo-Saxon inbreeders, okay, in a fucking room, and that's what they do. They do genocide, they do cousin fucking, and they build dog shit. Why are European sister fuckers? Isn't that the U.S. American meme? No, I'm talking about the Anglo-Saxons in general. Okay. Fucking horny, Westoid, Angloid-brained, disgusting filth. Disgusting filth, dude. Eurocentrist trash. Euro trash, motherfucker.
Not too long ago, the famous YouTuber Kai Cenat held a fan meetup in New York City that ended in a complete disaster with thousands of fans smashing out the windshields of cars, businesses were destroyed, and riots broke out into the streets. Kai profusely apologized for the entire ordeal, being ashamed his audience would destroy innocent people's privacy. Hasan, however, would somehow see this as a peace movement, blaming local media for portraying these innocent protesters as wild animals.
Media talking about $3 worth of fucking Doritos. Like, you know, there was a bank run or some shit. Like, also want to fucking make it seem like, you know, this is a riot that was completely out of control.
Wait, some buildings were raided, cars destroyed, people are throwing fucking fireworks. Look at the image being shown on screen. There's dog shit everywhere on the ground. Look at this shit. Like, how is this not out of control or a riot? It's both.
The $3 Doritos he is referencing is the attack a 6-year-old man faced during this riot, where his entire small shop was robbed out empty, leaving him getting assaulted by the people who robbed him in the first place. Hasan simply didn't listen to this story, or if he did, he just didn't care.
And his whole kiosk was ransacked. All the ships were broken and pulled apart. Things were taken off of it. And he was saying that he was injured because he was trying to stop the kids, part of what happened, but you know, a totally just innocent victim in all this, that he was just doing his job, going about his day, and his business got ransacked there.
There you go. There is no better representation of how dog water local media is and how much they exacerbate like narratives that you see on Fox News.
You remember Kyle Rittenhouse? Well, Hasan said anybody that even dared to claim his case was self-defense is a psychopath who fantasizes lurking out in the streets at night to acquire legal kills. Like every Republican is the Joker looking to cause madness out into the street.
He was trying to get a legal kill. Like, that's what he was trying to do, and he got it. The greatest thing that could have happened to internet conservatives is this, because this is their fantasy. This is like the psychopathic, bloodthirsty fantasies that they've all had.
But whenever he watches a video of a police officer getting shot and killed, he laughs hysterically, almost like something you would see out of a registered patient at Arkham Asylum, just watching somebody's life being taken away with a shining smile.
There's a study where it says that, you know, more cops actually die from suicide, I don't know, than gunfire and on the line of duty deaths.
What are you getting at?
Just nothing. I'm just saying, you know, let's get those numbers up, baby.
Oh, watch out, watch out. Watch out! Are you okay? No, you shot me! Oh, God! Are you okay?
The last point I want to touch on is Hasan's stance and attitude towards React content. You can consider this video as one giant reaction, but the thing is, Hasan doesn't add any inputs to the things he reacts to, often using them as commercial breaks so he can go to the bathroom and do other shit for sometimes up to an hour. He full screens the video he shows majority of the time and leaves them on autoplay, which leads them to never really get any credit for the hard work the original creator does.
I'll be back. Hold on, I gotta pee. I'm sorry.
National correspondent.
I gotta pee.
So in a way, go in the coal mines.
I have to pee real bad.
Because they knew that if they were really going to sell this war...
Broadcast. Hold on, I gotta pee real quick.
Basically, Hasan has a giant empire that's surrounded towards himself. His little meat-munching minions that are typically referred to as plug channels take these videos usually outright in full, stealing their entire thumbnail and title with just slapping Hasan's face in the corner of it. It's horrible to get exposure from this guy because you practically get no exposure at all. He just farms all the views back to his channel, often leaving the hardworking YouTubers that spent possibly weeks of labor to provide some of the documentaries he watches just for Hasan to repost their entire vid and get 10 times the views their original creator ever will. A YouTuber by the name of DarkViperAU shows a diagram he created that perfectly sums up what my fried ass brain can't even think to say anymore about Hasan exploiting the work of creators for his own benefit.
Also has the added benefit of a live stream and the other videos made of his live stream content. What takes a YouTuber a week, Hasan can do in 30 minutes. But it gets worse, as Hasan isn't limited to only reacting to one video, he can react to several. He can also do this every single day. Now, who is more likely to bring themselves a greater amount of exposure, views, and revenue? Each of the individual YouTubers with 1 week's worth of labor and 1 video, or Hasan with 7 live streams and over 40 potential videos, collectively housing a year's worth of labor with a content variety and quality that can't be matched by anything but an army of creators.
You gotta remember, he fights for the people, guys. He fights for all of you. He's even went on more to say he believes all copyright laws should be lifted, saying out of his mouth that he encourages people to steal his own videos and redistribute them to feed into his fuckfest farm.
I think that as far as like rigorous control over IP, I personally don't have it. I don't believe in it. I don't think it's a good thing.
What do you mean you don't believe in it? I don't understand what that means. You think that people should be able to steal your videos and upload it?
Yeah. I mean, what the hell can you even say to that, really? I think that's gonna wrap the video up there. Hasan lives up to the life quote of "You are what you think about," always calling people racist, transphobic, idiots, and it seems to me he almost molded into the very thing he despises, just on the opposite side of the spectrum, or multiple spectrums for that matter. There is almost an infinite amount of dumb takes or moments Hasan has where I can say in this video, I only touched not even 5% of the total amount of controversies he got into for just being stupid. He's not a leader, nor some savior for the left, nor even a reliable news source, just an idiot that should never be trusted or taken seriously. But he is, by more people than Fox News or BBC, and that's a terrifying thought to think about. You'll luckily never see a fan in person, because if they ever left their house, they would only speak and gasp and drooling, like them cult people out of Midsummer doing their sacred chant. I hope the video helped maybe more people realize to stay away from this guy, as he deliberately lies, deceives, and manipulates his audience right to their faces without any repercussions. If you're political and you have any stance, then go follow whatever that is. Hasan is just the last person that you need to follow. But if you enjoyed, make sure to slap a like on this one before your dad slaps you. Subscribe if you hit my vibe, and make sure to follow all my socials. Links will be down in the description. And yeah, I'ma head out this bitch. 10,000 likes for a part 2. This shit was a headache.